Hello guys, thanks for tuning in back into my channel. Today is going to be part one of my retail series, all about working the cash register. Now, I know we all been there, those of us in retail, where you realize you're going to eventually have to work that cash register. You anxious, you nervous, you scared you might mess up, you scared that all of a sudden you don't think you know how to count, everything like that. But I have a little bit of inspiration to give you and a little story time to make you feel more comfortable if you're already doing it or if you're about to start a job that deals with working the cash register. Because I can tell you, over 2-3 years of experience, it becomes second nature like that. Now, first, I can say my first job where I really had to use the cash register, we had like a 2-day training. We came in like 6 in the morning for 2 hours. We did the training. The next morning, we did the same thing. And I can tell you, it's easier when the customers are using a card, but when it deals with the cash, that's when things get a little tricky. Now, usually, the trainer is supposed to guide you through everything, tell you all the different buttons, tell you the process, and basically tell you a routine. When the customer come up, hi, how you doing? Did you find everything okay? Boom, boom, boom. Take the items, scan them, bag them, then it's time to pay. With the cards, it's easy. It's either chip or swipe. You either press card, credit, debit. It should be on the screen. Then they chip or swipe. With the money, the number one rule, the number one thing to watch out for is most registers, they have the cash button. But you have to type in how much money they're giving you first. If you just type cash, sometimes the registers pop out and you have to do the math in your head because it's not telling you the correct change to give back. So always remember, type in the amount of cash they give you first so it comes easier when it's time to give them back their change. That's the number one rule with dealing with cash. Till pops out, you have your 20s, 10s, 5s, and 1s/singles. There's already pre-counted. You always start out with a certain amount in your register. Like you have your coins, the quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies. Then you have you might have more quarter rolls, nickel rolls, just in case you run out of change, coin change. No matter what kind of store it is, every type of register should have some type of way of indicating if the cash is actual cash and not counterfeit. Whether you hold it up to the light, you put it under what you call it, one of those light scanners where you put 100, you see the red light. You put a 10, you see a green light. Put a 5, you see a blue light. Or you have a marker where you mark it to see if it's real money. If it's not, the marker will be like writing on paper because it's not supposed to be that noticeable on real money. Now, the story time involves like my first and second day on the register, and we had some type of discount going on, mind you. But they didn't really tell me, but I didn't ask at the same time. So we had this thing called 10% Tuesdays. So the customer, I'm bringing him up, everything's fine. He waits until the receipt is literally printing out the box. I done already bagged his stuff. I'm about to put the receipt in the bag. Oh, did I get my 10% off today? And I'm standing there like, and this time, I think I was the only one on the register. My second day, third day, I'm the only one on the register. And I'm like, 10%, huh? And then I call a manager. He's like, yeah, it's 10% Tuesdays. I'm like, you should have told me that before I hopped on my second day. But okay, so then I had to do the whole thing over. It was a little bit of, not embarrassing, but it got me a little frustrated. But things like that made me realize, okay, every time I come in, I gotta know what's going on, what's the deals, what's the type of, sometimes you have to type in a certain code on the register or something, you have to scan a barcode. So always stay on top of that so you know what to do when that situation comes up, when a customer comes up with a certain item or it's some type of deal, or also read the signs in the store before you clock in. See what's the deals going on. Is it buy two get one free or buy one get one free? What type of pants are on sale? Is it the linen pants or is it the cargo pants? Because that can cause a lot of confusion at the register too. So you know what to do just in case anything happens that can cause conflict. So another thing is sometimes you might get those difficult customers at the register that, the ones that hold up the line. in that situation, you can kind of feel the vibe. Because I know when I'm now that I'm 2, 3 years in, I know when I'm bringing people up and I can see the next customer online, you can kind of sense, oh, she gonna give me a problem, or he look like a problem. You don't want to assume, but you can already tell. So if you get that type of vibe from them, and you doing the transaction, and you feel something's kind of frisky or not going right, call the manager. That's what they're there for. Don't overstress yourself trying to, go above and beyond and try to figure out something, and you know, become like a zombie in the head, trying to figure out how do I do this, or what is she asking me to do, or can I do this, or try just pressing anything. Call the manager, or you know what? Ask one of your coworkers who is more familiar with the different processes. Most of the time when I first started, my coworkers can help me. That would be my first option. Second option, call the manager. They have the override to do any type of thing on the register. So worst case scenario, call the manager. First, try to use your coworkers next to you who's more familiar with it. Now I know it's easier said than done, but when you're about to start, it's your first, second day, they like, all right, you're gonna be a register. You ready? Just take a deep breath. Don't overthink it. Just do what comes natural to you. Do what you remembered. Sometimes the trainer is there next to you. Eventually, they're gonna walk off. You're gonna be on your own. You might not even have coworkers next to you. You might be at the register by yourself. Just take a deep breath. You got it. I was the same way when I first started. You get so anxious and nervous, and it's like you feel like everybody else know how to do it, and you just gotta, fake it till you make it. Eventually, you're gonna make it. You're gonna know what to do. It's gonna become second nature, like that. So, just take a deep breath. Things like this will get easier. And another thing I have to tell you is when it's free time, if you end up clocking in early, or if one of those shifts where you end up leaving late, call one of your coworkers, call one of the managers over and be like, I'm still kind of confused about this on the register. Can you show me? Can you go over it? If you don't really remember from your training, or if it comes up a lot during the day of your shift, and it's like you got to keep doing a certain thing, you be like, how do I do this? How do I do this? One of those free times, ask one of your coworkers or the manager to go over it with you again. Some might get annoyed, but it's for the better of the company, for the better of that store. If you know what you're doing, they won't have to keep coming. They show you once, twice, 3 times, you get the hang of it, everything's going to be fine. You got this. You got this. You got this. It's going to become second nature. Trust me. You got it. Thank you. Please leave a comment, leaving other tips for, first time cashiers. If you've been doing it for a while, comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you.